Hey, my name is Job Stauffer. I'm here at Telltale Games booth. I'm the head of PR here at Telltale, and we're here at E3 2014 showing off our new episodic series, Tales from the Borderlands.
Job, when does this game take place in the Borderlands timeline?
So fans of the Borderlands series know this is a very, very big year for Borderlands. 2K and Gearbox have Borderlands, the pre-sequel, coming out this year, and that actually takes place before Borderlands 2. Then sequentially there's Borderlands 2, and then after that there's Tales from the Borderlands.
Now, how are you guys translating a game that's basically first-person run-and-gun shooting into a story-driven point-and-click adventure?
Yeah, that's one of the big reasons why people are coming in here to see this thing, because it's really hard to imagine until you actually see it for the first time. But while this isn't a first-person shooter, there is tons of action. It's just sort of done in a very Telltale way. There's lots of explosions, there's rockets going off, there's robots hitting bandits with giant riot shields and explosions all the time, and it's a lot about choosing whether you're going to go, who you're going to explode, where you're going to direct these objects. You have the crazy Borderlands Hyperion menu screens, and you're going to be able to choose your loadouts for certain robots and armory and all kinds of gadgets and items that you're going to be able to have at your arsenal. But those are all things that happen when they're occurring in the story. So it's not necessarily an action game that you're always shooting, exploding. You're following these characters that get into action-packed moments, and you're controlling the flow of the action through the story.
Talk about what you guys are showing here today in the demo.
So today we're actually seeing about the first 30 minutes or so of the season premiere, and we're actually introducing the concept of two different characters. The main character is Reese, who works for Hyperion sort of after the fall of Hyperion, and Fiona, who's a grifter on the world of Pandora, kind of going for her last big score. And what we see is Reese's side of the tale, as he's explaining why he and his friend Vaughn are going down to Pandora to find this mysterious vault key. And what you're seeing today is his version of the story on how that happened, right before Fiona jumps in and explains that's not really what went on. Here you're going to see what I'm going to say, and you're going to have to wait for the series premiere to see what she says.
And we actually saw at the end, we saw Zero, one of the Vault Hunters from the Borderlands series. Will we see more cameos from other Borderlands characters we've known and loved?
Absolutely. This entire series is really built by fans of Borderlands, us, and built by Gearbox. We're working in collaboration with those guys. So you will see Zero, you will see some other characters. We've already seen Marcus. We know that Handsome Jack is involved in some way. We have an incredible cast of characters and actors here in Tales from the Borderlands. We have Chris Hardwick as Vaughn, your best friend. Sam Witwer is Reese. We have Patrick Warburton. We have Nolan North, who plays a character named August. And we do have Damien Clark, who plays Handsome Jack, but how he's incorporated into the series we haven't quite said just yet. We wouldn't want to spoil it for you.
Now, how hard is it to try to give, because I know you probably can't talk about it much, but the new Borderlands 2 Vault Hunters are in this a little bit. How hard is it to give them personalities? Because they really didn't have personalities per se in the game. They had quirky one-liners and funny quotes, but they didn't have like any personalities.
Well, you're not playing as the Vault Hunters. So playing as these new characters who are kind of fish out of, or at least Reese and his partner Vaughn are kind of fish out of water. They're kind of corporate nerds in a lot of ways, and they kind of got nothing left to lose to go back down to Pandora and try and make their big score. So as they go down there and they get integrated with these Vault Hunters and they see Zero, as the series progresses, you're gonna interact with those Vault Hunters in a way that is totally in line with how you perceive those Vault Hunters, no matter how you play as them in Borderlands 2. But you're gonna see perhaps a different side of certain characters as that series progresses, and I think the series will add a lot of depth to the characters in Borderlands 2 that we already know and love, and we're going to learn a lot of things that we didn't know already.
Would there be anything cool that current Borderlands 2 players will be able to do with this game when they buy it? Any like cross-plane or cross-story arcs or anything like that?
Absolutely. It will tie all the way throughout. Things happening in pre-sequel will tie through Borderlands 2 and through Tales from the Borderlands, and we don't have the full details just yet, but by playing Tales from the Borderlands, you're actually going to be able to unlock certain items that you can use elsewhere in the Borderlands universe.
Now, one of the main taglines in Borderlands has been guns, guns, guns. Now, how are you guys going to implement that into Tales from Borderlands?
There are guns, guns, guns galore. Loot is actually an interesting thing too, because you're going to be able to find guns and find loot. In the demo, you actually see Reese sort of roaming around this dusty town, Prosperity Junction, and there's a loot crate in the ground. Opens it up, sees the glowing purple, grabs the money. You'll find ammo, you'll find guns, but it's not a shooter. But having money, having loot, and having ammo and having weapons in your inventory will affect how certain scenes are going to play out when you're choosing where the story's going to go in the middle of the action in the scene.
And when will people be able to play Tales from Borderlands?
They'll be able to play the season premiere later this summer. It'll be kicking off and rolling out throughout the rest of the year in 2014, and perhaps a little longer. But yeah, you'll be playing it this summer, hopefully before school starts.